Okay, hello my friends. My name is Gerdes. These are the three big stories for today. And it's really one story with three different parts. So let's start here with this news headline. House approves 95 billion aid for Ukraine, Israel, and Taiwan. So they finally approved it. It doesn't mean it's a done deal. It does mean that the House, which is the biggest hurdle, has approved it. It'll go over to the Senate. The Senate will then decide what they're going to do, and I'll talk about that in just a moment. Before we go to that, let's talk through some things that happened. Along the way, Marjorie Taylor Greene tried to put forward an amendment. Let me just read this and you'll understand what her amendment was trying to do. The House of Representatives and Speaker Mike Johnson don't give a blank about the American people, our border, our jobs, our economy, our national security. The most important thing in Congress is spending another $61 billion of your money to fuel a war in Ukraine, protect the foreign border, and prop up the military-industrial complex. My amendment would strip every dollar from this Ukraine slush fund and reduce the dollar amount to zero. Okay, there's so many places that I can, I don't even know what to attack in that, but it's chock full of Russian talking points of like, it's your money, it's the border in Ukraine is more important, it's a slush fund, it's like all these kind of things. It went nowhere. The amendment was shot down, no problem. Okay, and it was destined to, and she knew it because she's really just trying to use Ukraine in order to enhance her image. Okay, so what actually happened? The vote was 311 to 112. I watched that. If you go back to my channel, you can actually see in real time like the vote actually taking place. Now, 101 Republicans voted with all 210 Democrats. Well, there were 3 non-votes and 4 non-votes over here, but it was a unanimous on the Democrat side, 101 to 112 Republicans, which is about half. It's actually 47%. I'm ashamed that it's only 47%. It should have been much higher than that, including my congressman, and I'm very angry about that. Okay, so Bill Kristol posted this shortly thereafter. I don't know how much difference we made in the 6-month battle to get Republicans to support aid for Ukraine, or whether we made any difference at all, but I'm very proud to have been part of this honorable effort. And thank all of you, everybody that has called their congressman or called Mike Johnson's number or put any kind of pressure on your politicians in any way, shape, or form here. I greatly appreciate what you've done. You should be giving yourself a pat on the back. Okay, so Marjorie Taylor Greene is out there moments after this, and this is what she has to say. Let's just hear what she has to say, and then we'll talk about it.
But this is the sellout of America today. When we had members of Congress in there waving the Ukrainian flag on the United States House of Representatives floor, while we're doing nothing to secure our border, I think every American in this country.
Okay, let me stop there for a moment. So they're not supposed to wave the Ukrainian flag or the flag of anywhere else, like on the House floor. That's part of breaking decorum, so I get that. But doing that and dealing with the border are not mutually exclusive. But just let her finish what she's saying, and then I'll explain a little bit more.
Should be furious. Who's going to vote for these people? How can you vote for these people? They don't serve our country. But
well, actually, a healthy foreign aid is in our best interest, and we need to be addressing that. But what's interesting here is that she's saying, we're doing all this for Ukraine when we could have been doing something for the border. Bill Kristol made another really good point. Dear normal Republicans, we could have had today's package along with a tough border bill. Now, it's not as tough as they would have wanted, but it still would have done a lot to secure the border. But Trump blew that up. So we ended up with today's package and nothing on the border. That's due to Trump. Vote Republican for Congress if you choose, but don't vote for Trump. Here is Marjorie Taylor Greene again. And people ask me, why do you keep showing Marjorie Taylor Greene? Because I'm trying to show you the contrast. It's not because I have some deep wanting to show you Marjorie Taylor Greene, but just to show you the contrast of where she is as opposed to where the rest of them are. So she says, here are the 139 Republicans who just voted against my amendment to strip every penny of your tax dollars to Mike Johnson's $61 billion. So these 131 Republicans are the good guys. Right? Those are the good Republicans that weren't going to put up with her nonsense. Okay, now if you actually want to know did my legislator vote for this or not, you can go to clerk.house.gov /EVS/2024 roll 151. Okay, and XML. And this is it. This shows you the yays, this shows you the nays, and you can just go through the list on both sides. I will link this or put this in the link below below the video so that you can see what has happened in fact. Okay, now the next step is, now that it's gone from the House, it goes to the Senate. The Senate has to vote for it or against it, or maybe they'll amend it. Or now if they amend it, it goes back to the House and the process starts all over again. So there are going to be some who are going to try to amend it perhaps in order to defeat it. But that's not necessary. Or they might filibuster. Who? Well, folks like J.D. Vance might do this. J.D. Vance is a MAGA Republican who supports Trump fully. He's from Ohio, and this is the Rust Belt where MAGA really took some hold. Okay, to all of our voters demoralized by what the House did today, keep fighting. It won't be easy, but we're going to save this country. I'm not sure what he's going to save the country from, but he thinks he's going to save the country by defeating this bill. It's actually going the opposite direction. It's actually putting us in more danger, not less. If you're wanting to know who was likely to vote against it or likely to try to filibuster or add amendments or whatever, and again, I don't think the filibuster can add all that much time to it, and I think the senators know that. But here's a list of Republicans who voted against military aid back in February. Now, it was for different reasons. Maybe they didn't think that the border security was enough or whatever it was. They just voted against it. That's who you'd be looking for. I don't know if any of them will or will not. We'll find out in short order. Okay. As expected, the House passes, second big story, House passes Israel military funding bill 366 to 58. So it's by a margin of about 50 more than the Ukraine bill, but it's still sailed through. Okay. And then, of course, in Russia, they're not happy about this. This is Dmitry Peskov, Putin's spokesperson, saying the decision of the U.S. House of Representatives to pass a bill to help Ukraine will further enrich the U.S. and further ruin Ukraine. I'm not sure how it would enrich the United States. Well, I mean, we're spending billions here, but it's going to further ruin Ukraine because the fighting continues, because they can defend themselves? No. It'll help Ukraine actually fight aggression off. This is Kremlin spokesperson Dmitry Peskov, ladies and gentlemen. Okay, last, I want to end on a happy note. All he wanted was a handshake. I'm going to turn off the music, but sappy music to go with. No, I don't want to shake your hand. No, that's okay. Look at that. Here we go again. Handshakes. I guess I won't. Even Kim. Like, that's just amazing. Okay, anyway, I just wanted to end on a happier note. Thank you for your time. Guys, this was a great day, and you should be celebrating. Thank you. If you, at any time, wrote your congressman or called that number for for the Speaker of the House, Mike Johnson. If you at any time contacted them, put me in the comments below. I just want to see who all has done that. Thank you for your time. Thank you for the like. Thank you for the shares, the subscribes. Thank you to my patrons, and thank you for being the kind of person that cares about Ukraine.